thought we were done, no. We're closing out the year by recapping all the December BL releases we got and getting a head start on January BLs you need on your radar right now. I'll break down what's coming, where to watch it, and the ones you should probably put on your list right now before the timeline loses its mind. Hello my BL besties, I'm Blush, your snow-hating BL enthusiast that has been hibernating for too long. But we're back just in time to give a recap of everything we got and are getting this month. If you're new here, hi, we talk all things BL, the actors, industry, and the tea in between. If you're not new here, wow, you've put up with me better than me. Thanks for subscribing. Listen, if you saw my last community post, you know I am struggling in this snowy winter weather. At least my VPN can virtually launch me into Thailand, right? But really, if you don't have a VPN to get access to those pesky geo-restricted shows, grab yourself NordVPN while the 75% off a holiday deal is still on. Personally, I've been using it for years and pay for it with my own money. So what is it? In basic terms, this tricks the internet to think you're physically in whatever country you choose from this menu. I have a whole video explaining on how I use mine with examples if you're curious. Link and deal in the pinned comment. December 3rd from Thailand, we got Let Me Into Your Heart the series. Right off the bat, this one is free on YouTube, so we already love that. This story follows two performers from completely different worlds who are forced to work together on a new hehe style production. Ja is a seasoned hehe theater performer born and raised in traditional Thai performance art, and he's tasked with training Jack, a rising actor who's still figuring out his place in the industry. On the surface, everything looks cute and professional, but behind the scenes, these two do not get along, like at all. Jack is early in his career and already annoyed that he has to put on this overly sweet, polished image for the media in Bangkok. Meanwhile, Ja takes hehe seriously. It's not just a job to him. Comes in looking distracted and half-committed. Ja immediately clocks him as someone who doesn't deserve to be taught. According to some reviews I've seen, the first episode does a really good job setting up that contrast. Tradition versus modern celebrity, dedication versus performance for the camera, and that tension is clearly where the romance is going to bloom. This is also based on a novel adaptation. This is actors Zaling and Leon's first BL series, and they actually work surprisingly well together. The chemistry isn't loud, but it's there, and I'm sure it's the kind that grows as the characters clash. Again, catch it here on YouTube. December 5th, GMMTV brings us a force to be reckoned with. This one will go down in the books. Like this video if you appreciate what I tried to do there. Force a book star in Melody of Secrets. This was announced in the GMMTV 2025 lineup, and what do you know? We're getting it in 2025. And let me just say this right now. This is one of those BLs where you actually have to be awake. We follow a journalist and a criminologist who team up to investigate a series of murders. Very noir, very tense, very why is everyone lying energy. But here's the emotional hook. During the investigation, one of them claims to be the other's first love, and the entire mystery becomes about figuring out whether that's the truth or just another manipulation in a very dangerous game. This is Force and Book stepping into a much darker, more mature lane than what we usually see from them. No fluffy campus here. This is grown men, secrets, trauma, and crime. The filming style is also very different for GMMTV. It's moody, artsy, and unique frames and angles. And you guys can catch this one either on YouTube or a View, which you can access for free with a VPN. If what you're on the hunt for is very explicit skin energy, then this might scratch that itch. Sereno premiered December 6th on Oxen Films YouTube. And yes, this is our second Merman BL of 2025, and this one comes from the Filipino studio that brought us Under the Same Sky and Hermoso. Basically, a merman who's trapped in human form is haunted by dreams of his tragic past. And right when he's spiraling through those memories, a curious guest basically crashes into his life, and that's where the romance starts making waves. December 11th, we got A Daytime Dream, Another Side, which was a spin-off from the Japanese BLs at 2500 in Akasaka Season 2. It's basically the story within the story finally getting its own screen time. In the spin-off, the focus shifts to an advertising agency guy who's been burying his real feelings deep inside, and a straightforward delivery man who walks into his life and changes things. Their dynamic starts slow, but as the two get closer, their relationship turns into something real and tender. Sorry y'all, I gotta tell you, it's only one episode, but if you're wondering where to watch it, it's actually tucked away in the second season of At 2500 in Akasaka Season 2 as the 11th episode. And if you're wondering where that is on Gagulala. On December 17th, we get something a little different from Tencent, aka WeTV, The Company, adapted from a Chinese fantasy novel. Now, it's not officially labeled as BL, but the core emotional thread is between two male leads, and that's enough to make it on the radar for BL fans, especially the ones who like fantasy, time travel, and slow burn partnerships. The story follows an antique dealer from the future and a modern-day vet, who end up traveling through time together to recover lost relics. And as they move from era to era, they're not just collecting objects, they're witnessing different lives, different histories, and a lot of buried emotion along the way. Think C-drama epic meets treasure hunt plus emotional tension, and since WeTV will be producing it, I think it's worth keeping an eye on. Jung and Dunk are back on screen over a year later, ready to cause some chaos. GMMTV's Dare You to Death premieres December 18th. This one was originally supposed to premiere a week earlier, December 11th, but the launch event venue had technical difficulties, so GMMTV pushed it back a week, which honestly, very fitting for a show this chaotic. The premise is dark right out of the gate. A group of friends play a game of truth or dare, except one dare goes too far and someone ends up dead. From there, the story follows two investigators who are forced to work together to uncover what actually happened. And yes, they already don't like each other. Listen, Jung and Dunk's personas are completely opposite from the Heart Killers, which is going to be so fun to watch. Also, and this is a community-wide agreement, we are collectively choosing to ignore how young these detectives are because police tell me why they're interrogating suspects who look like their classmates. Catch this one on Netflix worldwide. My reminder is set. This is some cinema, like with a capital C. This is our BL movie of the month. 10 Dance is a live-action adaptation of an extremely popular BL manga of the same name, and it centers on two elite professional dancers who could not be more different. One comes from standard ballroom and the other from Latin dance, and they're forced to partner up to compete in the 10 Dance, which combines both styles. Dance is basically a language in this movie. Every movement, every touch, every correction becomes part of the emotional buildup. And because it's a movie, not a series, the pacing is tighter and more cinematic than your average BL drama. Fun fact, this is coming out the same day as Dare You to Death, and also on Netflix. I used to be that person that said, I don't have Netflix because everything I watch is on other platforms whenever somebody would tell me about what they were watching on there, but here I am, resubscribed to Netflix because our BLs just keep getting more mainstream. Kinda annoying, but best for the long run I suppose, because it means the industry is growing like that. Quick little note, Mandate, a political Thai BL that released a little bit ago that was a bit difficult for international viewers to watch, but now Gagulala has picked it up and will begin airing it on the platform December 19th. So thank you Gagulala for making more shows accessible to us, international people so far away. Okay, remember Studio Wabi Sabi's Forever You that starred Earth, aka Kuhart, and Pond? We are getting a season 2 with 24 episodes split into 4 arcs. You know, like perfect 10-liners, how they had different arcs. We had the Forest Book arc, and then the Perth Santa arc, and then the Mark Jr. arc. So for this one, you'll see names like Beside the Sky, The Sun from Another Star, and lately it's Winter Season. But those are all a part of the same season 2, not separate shows. Trust me, I was confused. The first arc, Beside the Sky, begins December 18th with Tonfa and Typhoon. Then we'll get Dao Tak and Artith, and finally Tiger and Niao. Okay, I swear I watched the entire series, but I'm so bad with remembering how they pronounce their names. In case it sounds like I'm making characters up, I'm just really bad at remembering the pronunciations. So I'm just reading them how I see them at this time. Please ignore. Anyways, I think each couple is supposed to get 6 episodes, but then there'll still be 6 left that'll be used for connecting everything together. So yes, the marketing is a bit confusing because we got separate trailers for each arc, which made it seem like they were coming out with all these new spin-off shows, but they're basically teasers for each storyline that'll be all included in one season 2. Now, one of the most anticipated events of the year for Thai BL fans has officially come and gone, Star Olympics 2025, which took place on December 20th, and honestly, at this point, it's basically required viewing. If you're newer to the industry, Star Olympics is GMMTV's massive annual sports and games event where actors from across the company compete in teams, and yes, that includes pretty much every BL pairing you care about. And let's be real, the actual sports are kind of secondary. People tune in for the interactions, the teamwork, the accidental fan service, the "why are you standing that close" moments, the clips that hit X within 30 seconds. That said, some of the games are usually pretty intense, like edge of your seat intense. There's always at least 1 or 2 matchups where you're genuinely sitting there wondering whether Lightning Cheetah or Shadow Eagles are going to take it home. Every year, Star Olympics gives us an unexpected pair dynamic, revived ships, and at least one moment that sends the fandom, and Gemini, into a collective spiral. It's also kind of the perfect way to close out the BL year, especially since it ends with a full concert featuring performances from a ton of our faves. The clips you're watching right now is a video that I made on last year's Chaos, and if you want to check that out while you wait for me to piece together all of the chaos from this year, I'll link it below. December 28th, we are getting a love alert from Thailand, not to be confused with the 2018 K-drama love alert. This one is a BL that centers on a love triangle that starts with a casual encounter and quickly gets messy. The story kicks off when a flirtatious guy named Jimmy casually helps out someone named Tae and unexpectedly finds himself more attached than he planned. But then To shows up, starts catching feelings too, and the whole situation turns into a complicated love triangle. Catch this one on View, which you can access for free with a VPN. Okay, now let's get into what we know for January so far, and of course this won't be everything because the studios love to tell us like 3 days before that, oh, by the way, this is dropping, and then we're like, oh, okay, let me just clear my whole schedule. But yes, what we know so far for January, let's go. So January is coming at us hard, with Hard Nights from Thailand, premiering January 11th. This is a more mature Thai BL drama that tells a deeply human story about love, aging, and navigating emotional crossroads. The series follows on a 54-year-old former comic artist whose long-term relationship with his boyfriend Jira, a 55-year-old partner, has reached a point where comfort begins to shatter into doubt and quiet unrest. What was once laughter and shared companionship slowly becomes tension and unspoken questions, so much so that An finds himself unable to sleep at night, haunted by the fragility and uncertainty of love that has lasted nearly 7 years. Rather than high school butterflies or whirlwind romances, Hard Nights digs into the real-world complexities of a queer relationship later in life, where fear of loss and longing for connection blur into sleepless nights and honest reflection. Countdown to Yes is an upcoming Japanese BL set to premiere on January 12th, airing on TV Air in Japan. The series is a live-action adaptation of a popular BL manga, bringing a slow-burn, realism-focused love story to the screen. The series leans heavily into emotional restraint and quiet tension, focusing on timing, fear, and the weight of choosing whether to confess or walk away. Sounds like something Gaga Ulala will pick up in time for the release date. The Boyfriend returns for Season 2 as a Japanese BL-relating dating series, officially premiering January 13th on Netflix. This series is produced in Japan and continues Netflix's push into queer dating formats following the breakout success of its first season. Season 2 once again brings together a group of men living under one roof, navigating attraction, vulnerability, and emotional compatibility in a structured dating environment, designed to encourage honest connection rather than manufactured drama. The show focuses on real conversations, slow-form bonding, and the emotional risks that come with putting your feelings on the line in front of both your housemates and the audience. Netflix has confirmed a batched release format for this season, with multiple episodes dropping at launch and then additional episodes released weekly, allowing viewers to sit with each stage of the relationships as they unfold rather than just binging straight through. Y'all, I am so excited for this because Fort and Pete are back on screen, stepping away from their usual dynamic. Yesterday, the series will premiere January 26th on WeTV. The series is based on a Chinese BL novel by Feng Nong and blends romance with high-stakes corporate power struggles. The story follows Veer, heir to VPG Group, who becomes involved in Kelvin's fight for control of King Group against his half-brother Ken. After betrayal forces Veer to flee Chiang Mai with Nana's help, the two men are separated under dangerous circumstances. When Veer later reunites with Kelvin, the power balance has shifted. Ken now rules Lloyd Group, married to Lalin, and firmly in control. Listen guys, I don't know where all these characters are coming from. I am also kind of lost, but I'm sure it'll make sense once we're watching it. But together, Veer and Kelvin must confront the past and Ken, knowing that this time their lives are on the line. Alright guys, that is it for December and going into January, what we know so far anyways, and a quick thank you to my channel members. I really appreciate you. And that being said, if you genuinely enjoy my videos and want to support the channel, memberships are open. It's basically like throwing a coin into the blush fountain and helps support future BL commentary videos, plus you get these fun loyalty badges for being a part of our community. Also, this year marked the first full year of Blush. I only exist because people like you show up, care, and somehow let me turn my hyperfixations into actual videos. It still blows my mind. Your support, patience, and unhinged comment sections are what keep this space fun. Here's to more BLs, more chaos, and more opinions nobody asked for, and another year of doing this together. Seriously, thank you for being here. Merry Christmas to those of you celebrating, happy holidays, and wishing you guys all the best in 2026. Let me know what BLs from your 2025 to be watched are still left, but most importantly, this may be hard, but can you name your all-time favorite series of 2025? If you had to pick one, drop it in the comments. See you soon!